Where is Mr. Wale Edun? Mr. Wale Edun is our finance minister and coordinating minister of the economy. And he has been quite silent. And that is unusual considering what the economy is right now. In the last 8 to 10 months, since this administration took over, Nigeria has grappled with several economic issues. Inflation now stands at almost 30%, at 29%. Data released by the MBS recently states food inflation is over 33%. Naira devaluation or depreciation has gone to 1,500 naira to a dollar officially, and nearing 1,700 naira to a dollar at the parallel market. The CBN governor, Dr. Yemi Kadoso, has been very, very vocal with the reforms that he's taking and the approach that he's taking where the CBN is concerned. One of the things that he stated when he took over was that the CBN was going to depart from getting involved in fiscal policies, which was what the former CBN under the former governor Emefiele did. They went into a lot of fiscal policy making, and that did not bode well for the economy or for the CBN. And so by the time they came in, there was a lot to grapple with. And one of the things that was undertaking was the liberalization of the forex market and trying to make sure that we ended the disparity between the parallel market and the official market and bringing everybody, into the same markets. Dr. Yemi Kadoso has been very vocal with his reforms, and we see memo after memo after memo from the CBN. But we have not seen a corresponding move by the finance minister. Now, our finance minister is not just our finance minister, he's also the coordinating minister of the economy. That means a lot rests on his shoulders. And Mr. Wale Edun came in with so much expectations, but what we have seen is silence on his part. Recently, we had Nasima write a letter to the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy. Nasima is a Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, and they have written on the state of the economy, talking about how the government's promise of sweeping structural reforms in political, economic and security sectors remains largely unfulfilled nearly a year into its commitment. In fact, one of the things that SEMA stated was that the focus seems to have shifted towards raising revenue at the expense of the productive sector. And they, of course, say that it is counterproductive. Okay, and the private sector, according to Nasima, requires a transparent and current financial strategy, not a current piecemeal reactionary policy making that has been taking place, so far, saying that they would like to see, fiscal policy, going in a certain direction. One of the things that the Minister for Finance has failed to do was bring us into his fiscal policy direction. There is no policy framework, no fiscal policy framework. And you're looking at him actually coordinating the entire economy that has, been operating in a vacuum. The coordinating minister of the economy has spoken a few times. One of them was to tell us about how Nigeria's tax to GDP ratio was very low and how they want to widen the tax net. Another was to tell us about how Nigeria could not run on loans, giving the states that we're in, even though we have the MTF stating otherwise for 2024 to 2026 as a loan plan for the government. But it's also interesting that the finance minister was talking about loans that we were going to be getting. Last year, October, talking about getting $1.5 billion from the World Bank. But when it comes to the overall fiscal direction of the country, of the economy, he has been quite silent. He went before legislators to tell us about how, the Nigerian economy is in a much better state than when the president took over, talking about structural, brave and bold reforms that he's undertaking that has garnered praise from international organizations. Now, one of those bold structural moves was the president announcing the subsidy was gone. Now, what is interesting is that Business Day has reported that we are paying almost ₦1 trillion a month on subsidy payments. And this is quite interesting because when the president took over, according to Mele Kyari, the CEO for the NNPC, he actually stated that we were paying about 400 billion naira in subsidy payment a month. So we have we have almost tripled the amount of subsidy payments. But according to the minister, the structural reforms is gathering praise. One of the things to also think about is this: the policies are made for the people. So if the people that you are making the policies for say that these policies are not working for them, then whatever praise you're getting from outside is not doing anything for the economy. People are now unable to purchase food. We have a food security situation on our hands, but we have not heard from the Minister for Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy on how to tackle these issues.